Some crimes are solved, others remain a mystery. But all of them leave behind a trail of questions, fear, and truth waiting to be uncovered. Here, we explore the darkest corners of true crime, unsolved cases, twisted minds, and the chilling details the world forgot.
This is me, July 29th, 2008. It is 12:33 Mountain Time. Covering all my bases, making sure that if something happens to me or my family or all of us, that our assets are documented. Hope everything works out and we're all happy and live happily ever after as much as that's possible.
On July 29, 2008, Susan Powell, a loving mother of two from West Valley City, Utah, sat in her home and recorded a video. A video that, in hindsight, feels like a haunting message from beyond the grave. She carefully documented the valuables inside her house, listing assets, jewelry, and belongings, her voice carrying a weight of unease as she spoke. She wasn't just filming for the sake of it. She was doing it just in case something happened to her. Her words, now frozen in time, sound eerily like a premonition. Susan's marriage to Josh Powell had been falling apart for years. He controlled her finances, drained her credit, and manipulated her life. At one point, he had destroyed her belongings in a fit of rage, smashing items and throwing her DVDs everywhere. Still, despite the growing tensions, Susan stayed. Then, December 6, 2009 came, the day she vanished without a trace. That morning, Susan attended church with her two little boys, Charlie and Braden. Later that evening, a neighbor stopped by her house, leaving around 5 p.m. What happened next remains one of the most mysterious and unsettling missing persons cases in history. According to Josh, he spontaneously decided to take his two young sons camping in the middle of a freezing cold, blizzard-filled night. The destination? A remote area along the Pony Express Trail. His story: Susan was too tired to come along. The next morning, Susan never showed up to work. Her friends and family panicked, immediately reporting her missing when they realized her children hadn't been dropped off at daycare. When Josh finally returned home, he acted as if nothing was wrong. He casually told police that Susan was sleeping when he left for his impromptu camping trip, and that he had no idea where she could have gone. Police found no signs of forced entry, no struggle, no physical evidence of foul play. But what they did find was chilling. Inside a safe deposit box at the bank where Susan worked, authorities discovered a handwritten will and testament she had penned before she disappeared. In it, she made an alarming confession: "If I die, it may not be an accident." She also revealed that Josh had recently taken out a $1 million life insurance policy on her. And that wasn't all. Just 10 days after she went missing, Josh attempted to withdraw money from her retirement account. The evidence was piling up, but somehow Josh was never arrested. Even when their two sons were interviewed, they told investigators that their mother had actually gone with them on the camping trip that night. But because they were so young, their statements were dismissed. Instead of being treated like a suspect, Josh moved back to Washington, taking Charlie and Braden with him. Then, the unthinkable happened. On February 5, 2012, more than 2 years after Susan disappeared, a state caseworker brought Charlie and Braden to Josh's house for a supervised visit. Josh slammed the door shut, locking the social worker out. Then, in a moment of pure evil, he doused the home in gasoline, set it on fire, and murdered his own sons before taking his own life. The caseworker heard the explosion from outside, but it was too late. What had already been a tragic mystery now became one of the most horrifying family annihilation cases in history. As the case unraveled, police looked deeper into Josh's father, Steve Powell, and his brother, Michael Powell, both of whom were suspected of knowing far more than they let on. When authorities began closing in on Michael, he took his own life in 2013. Susan's body has never been found. Her father, Chuck Cox, has spent over a decade searching for answers, following leads, and digging into abandoned mines where he believes his daughter may have been hidden away forever. In 2020, Chuck won a lawsuit against the state of Washington for nearly $100 million. arguing that they failed to protect his grandsons from the very man everyone suspected of harming their mother. Instead of keeping the money, Chuck donated a huge portion to domestic violence charities. To this day, every year, people gather in Puyallup, Washington, to honor Susan's memory. But the video she left behind, the one where she documented her assets, is the most haunting part of all. She knew something was going to happen to her. She just didn't know when. And to this day, we still don't have the full truth. On August 17, 2010, Amber Tuckero, a 20-year-old mother from Alberta, Canada, was excited. She had flown into Edmonton with her 1-year-old son and a close friend, ready to enjoy a short getaway. That night, Amber made a fateful decision, one that would change everything. She decided to hitchhike into the city, and she was never seen again. At first, her loved ones didn't panic. Maybe she got caught up with new people, maybe she lost track of time. But as hours turned to days, an uneasy feeling grew. Then investigators found something chilling, a recorded phone call from the night she vanished.
Where are we by?
We're just heading south of Beaumont, or north of Beaumont.
We're heading north of Beaumont. Yo, where are we going?
Just
No, this is a... Are you f***ing kidding me? You better not be taking me anywhere I don't want to go. I want to go into the city. Jeez. Yo, we're not going into the city, are we?
We're going.
No, we're not.
Yes.
Then where the f*** these roads going to?
50th Street.
50th Street. Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Amber had been on the phone with her brother, who was in prison at the time. During the call, a mysterious man's voice could be heard in the background. The way Amber spoke, the fear in her voice, the hesitation, something was deeply wrong. Her last known words were forever etched into the recording. "Where are we going? You better not be taking me somewhere I don't want to go. Are we going into the city? No, we're not." The man's voice, cold, dismissive, fake reassurance dripping from every word. "Yeah, we are. Absolutely." But Amber didn't believe him, and neither do we. 4 days after the audio was released, a horrifying discovery was made. Amber's remains were found in a rural field near Leduc County, Alberta. The mystery deepened. Who was the man in the recording? Why did the police ignore the case for so long? And how many other women had fallen victim to the same predator? Because the truth is, Amber wasn't the only one. For years, multiple Indigenous women had gone missing in the same area, their cases dismissed, overlooked, ignored. Even when Amber's mother begged the police for help, she was told not to worry, that her daughter was probably just out partying. They took her off the missing persons list after just a month. The police's neglect cost Amber her life. To this day, several women have come forward saying they know who the man in the recording is. Yet no arrest has been made. And the most disturbing part, one man even claimed that the voice belonged to his father, a suspected serial killer who had been living near Edmonton at the time. Still, authorities have not named an official suspect. Amber's case isn't just a tragedy, it's a warning about who gets justice and who is left forgotten. Even today, Amber's family fights for answers, but with each year that passes, her case, like so many others, grows colder. The man's voice still lingers, and he might still be out there. A dark highway, a desperate phone call, a man running for his life, then nothing. No trace, no answers. On the night of August 8, 2013, 26-year-old Brandon Lawson left his home in San Angelo, Texas, after an argument with his longtime girlfriend, Ladessa Lofton. Frustrated and needing to cool off, he got into his truck and started driving. His destination, his father's house in Crowley, nearly 3 hours away. But Brandon never made it. At 12:38 a.m., he called his brother Kyle, saying he had run out of gas near Bronte, Texas. Kyle, along with his girlfriend and their young son, set out to bring him fuel. Meanwhile, Brandon made another call, this time to 911.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. It's like we're just pushing guys over. Right here going towards Javelin on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here. You got to take the to the woods. Quick burn. And when I talked to him, I showed you in his home. That's the first guy.
You need an ambulance?
Yeah. No, I need the cops.
His words were frantic, almost incoherent. Yes, I'm in the middle of a field. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here. Guys chasing me. Please hurry. Then the line cut out. By the time Kyle arrived at Brandon's last known location, all he found was Brandon's truck, abandoned on the side of the road. The doors were unlocked. There was no sign of a struggle, no shattered glass, no blood, no tracks leading away. But Brandon was gone. Over the next few hours, phone calls from Brandon's number continued. Brief, static-filled, eerie. Each time it seemed like he was still out there, hiding, trying to get help. But no one could find him. The next morning, search efforts ramped up, but nothing turned up. The rugged terrain was scoured, but there were no footprints, no clothing, no phone, no evidence that Brandon had ever been there beyond his truck. For over a decade, the mystery has remained. Did Brandon get lost in the darkness, succumbing to the unforgiving Texas wilderness? Was he in danger, running from something or someone, before vanishing forever? His family still searches for answers. The 911 call still haunts those who have heard it. And the question remains, what really happened to Brandon Lawson on that desolate Texas highway?